Are we really trusting a kicker who missed from 36 yards? Colts Nation. We have two major updates today. First, another kicker nailed 4 perfect preseason attempts. Also, one returning rookie linebacker just recorded exactly 4 total tackles. I will reveal both names in a moment. Stay until the end, and subscribe for our first 2,000 channel subscribers today. Blake Grupa and Spencer Schrader are currently locked in an intense battle for the kicker position as we head into our final preseason game against the Detroit Lions. I have been tracking this competition closely throughout training camp, and honestly, the shift in momentum is difficult to ignore. Blake Grupe started our summer with a strong showing, maintaining an overall success rate of 86%, but he has undeniably stumbled lately. After 2 misses in live preseason action, including a frustrating 36-yard attempt, his consistency is officially under the microscope. This is where it gets real, because special teams coordinator Brian Mason made it clear that in-game kicks carry the most weight. While Mason acknowledged that Grupa has been reliable in practice, the pressure of live reps is a different animal. On the flip side, Spencer Schrader began his tenure here struggling while recovering from a torn ACL and MCL, yet he has steadily closed the gap. He is currently hitting at 81% overall, but look at his game tape. He is a perfect 4 for 4 in the preseason, highlighted by impressive makes from 53 and 61 yards. Is this enough to hand him the job permanently, or are we just witnessing a hot streak in a small sample size? I am genuinely excited to see how he handles the final test, but I want to pump the brakes before we crown him the starter. The front office faces a tough decision by Sunday's roster cutdown deadline, and the special teams value here is vital for our field position. Does Schrader have the edge because of his leg strength, or will the staff prioritize Grupa's overall camp consistency? I honestly do not know how Chris Ballard settles this, but the margin for error is razor thin as we approach the final whistle. Recovering from such severe lower body injuries takes immense patience, yet looking at the data, the path Spencer Schrader took to challenge this spot was anything but standard. He started camp fighting through the lingering effects of a torn ACL and MCL, a hurdle that initially suppressed his performance stats. Yet his trajectory has been the opposite of his competition. While Blake Grupa enjoyed a strong start, recent misses have put him on the ropes, especially with the staff noting that live reps provide the truest test. Think about it this way. If a kicker cannot capitalize on those high-stakes moments, does his camp percentage really matter in the long run? I find it striking that despite starting at a lower overall accuracy mark, Schrader has surged when the lights turned on. His 4 for 4 performance in exhibition play, featuring successful distance kicks from 53 and 61 yards, validates the gamble our front office might be taking. Why would they settle for perceived safety when a high upside option is literally hitting from downtown under pressure? I am excited to see how he handles the final test, but I want to pump the brakes before we crown him the starter. The reality is that the coaching staff remains focused on the final preseason game against Detroit to finalize their personnel decisions. Managing the roster bubble requires a cold, analytical eye on every snap count and special teams value metric. The gap between those two men is officially closed, and the decision on who survives the Sunday cutdown will be a testament to how much this team prioritizes in-game production over practice field averages. Is there any doubt that the final kick in Detroit will be the deciding factor for this coaching staff? Now shifting our attention to the linebacker room, rookie CJ Allen finally hit the field for his long-awaited preseason debut against the Atlanta Falcons. After missing significant chunks of training camp battling through calf and hamstring injuries, seeing him log 20 snaps was a relief for any fan paying attention to the back 7. He managed to record 4 total tackles during that time, even if he did allow 3 completions for 40 yards according to PFF. Here is where it gets interesting though. Defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo is publicly brushing off the missed development time, telling James Boyd of The Athletic that he expects Allen to improve as his health stabilizes. The staff is clearly committed to a heavy rotation at linebacker, keeping guys like Bryce Boetcher, Jaylon Carleys, and Austin Ajiaki in the mix alongside Allen to sort out the depth chart. While Akeem Davis-Gaither seems to have secured one starting spot, the other position is wide open. Is this just a cautious approach by Anarumo, or are we witnessing a genuine struggle for that second starting role? I am genuinely excited about Allen's potential, but I also want to pump the brakes a little until we see him handle a full workload without physical limitations. It is far too early to declare him ready for regular season speed, especially with such a thin margin for error on the roster bubble. Can he truly unseat the veterans before the coaching staff finalizes their rotation strategy? Anarumo has not ruled out continuing this rotation well into the regular season, meaning these snap counts remain the most vital metric for us to track. My read is that the team values his high motor, yet his lack of practice reps will keep him under the microscope until he proves he can handle the full grind of an NFL schedule. Building a competitive linebacker core while managing injury recovery is a delicate balancing act for any front office. The upside of giving a player like CJ Allen 20 snaps in his debut is obvious, as it accelerates his growth and provides vital film for the staff to review. Let's be real, throwing a rookie directly into the mix against Atlanta after missing so much practice time is a clear sign that the coaches value his raw athletic ability over polished veteran experience. If he can process the game quickly and stay healthy, the ceiling for his impact could be substantial. However, we have to acknowledge the risks involved here. Allowing 40 yards on 3 completions suggests he is still adjusting to the speed of the professional level, which is entirely expected for a newcomer. Does this performance justify handing him a starting role over the other candidates? That remains the million-dollar question. Analysts note that with Akeem Davis-Gaither locked into his spot, the competition between Allen, Bryce Boettcher, Jalen Carles, and Austin Ajiake is defining the identity of this unit. The way I see it, the most alarming downside is the lack of consistency in his development due to those recurring calf and hamstring issues. Can he really handle a full starting load if he cannot stay on the field throughout the grind of the entire regular season? My honest take here is that while the potential is clear, the team might be better served by continuing this rotation until someone forces the staff to commit. It is a gamble, but relying on a rotating cast keeps the defense unpredictable and protects us if one player hits a wall. I just want to see him handle a heavier workload before we count on him as a permanent fixture. When you put both of today's stories together, here is the picture that emerges for the Indianapolis Colts. Our front office is currently prioritizing high upside potential over rigid stability. Whether it is the kicker competition or the rookie linebacker rotation, the team is clearly searching for playmakers capable of handling high-pressure moments regardless of early struggles. What makes this even bigger is that these decisions are not just about filling out a roster. They represent the long-term vision of our leadership to build a squad that can adapt to live game intensity without flinching. I see a clear commitment here to finding talent that shines when the stadium lights are bright. Are you comfortable with Spencer Schrader taking the job despite his shaky start, or do you still prefer the proven consistency of Blake Grupa? Furthermore, given his recent injury history, how much patience should we honestly have for CJ Allen as he fights for his spot in this defensive rotation? I am eager to hear your thoughts on these roster battles down in the comments because every opinion counts as we finalize our vision for the season. If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. I am still pushing toward our first 2,000 subscribers, and every one of you helps me get there. As we head toward the final preseason game, I want to see how these players respond to the heightened pressure and whether the coaching staff sticks to this current plan or shifts their strategy. It is a defining moment for our depth chart and will reveal exactly what kind of identity we are forging under this current regime. It is time for us to step up and prove that our roster is ready for the grind ahead. Colts Nation, I will see you in the next one.